Welcome to the Casino Insiders, and I'm your host, Deacon Kane. Well, we got a did I say very? Because I meant very interesting question from one of our guests today. But I want to talk about a couple of other things first, like our book, or my book, I should say, that is out. Please go ahead and check it out if you have Kindle Unlimited. It is free. Give it a read. Check it out. It's in regards to roulette, betting strategies, and all that kind of good stuff. So go master some roulette, folks. Win some money. Hopefully you win billions upon billions of doll hairs. Trying to clean my glasses as we're doing this. Secondary to that, go ahead and hit Deuces the Shop. You can go to www.thecasinoinsiders.com and click on Deuces the Shop logo. Okay? Those are basically the first two things that I want to kind of get out there and go from there. But here we go. So this is from, hold on, let me pull this back up again. This is great. The person, male or female, I'm not sure who it is Slot Degenerate. So our question is from the Slot Degenerate. Okay? And here is the question. What types of slot machines fall under the multi-denominational machine category under the Nevada Gaming Commission Gaming Revenue Report? And this is part of his, not after his question. From what I see in Nevada casinos, there's two types of multi-denominational casinos. Slots like Buffalo and Dragon Link or penny machines. Then there are real slots with 1 to 9 pay lines. These machines have multiple denominations of $1, $2, $5, $10, or $5, $25, $50, or $100, etc. Are both machines considered multi-denominational? It would seem to me that the real slot machines with $1, $2, $5, and $10, or $5, $25, $50, and $100 denomination would fall under another category. Well, first of all, I had to, since there was a legalese in there, I had to contact my lawyer. Okay? So, Slot Degenerate, anytime there's any type of legalese, we try and contact our lawyer to make sure that we can answer it. And since I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night, but I'm not supposed to give legal advice, here we go. Now, I'm not supposed to give legal advice. This is not any type of legal advice out there. Please, that is my disclaimer to everybody. But multi-denominational, let's just start with a penny and go all the way up to $1,000 bets. Okay? What a lot of people don't realize is that the highest betting machine, if I remember correctly, is a $5,000 bet. Okay? Those are all multi-denominational machines. Okay? So it doesn't matter if it's a penny all the way up to a $5,000 bet. That is all a denominational machine. Okay? Now, if there are different classes per legalese and all that kind of good stuff, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have any clue. Okay? Not only that, but let's just keep it simple. That is the best way and the truly the safest way. Let's be honest here. Keep it simple, stupid with gambling, because the more complex you get, the more confused you get. So therefore, that's when the house has you. And as we know with slot machines, it's all allegedly random because the random number generator, which sometimes I agree and disagree with, as you guys all know that anyway. So that brings up a question for me to ask for myself was, When was the first multi-denominational machine put into play, or when was it put out there? Well, here we go. IGT debuted the Wheel of Fortune progressive slot machine back in 1996. This game continues to be one of the most popular gaming machines of all time. The Game King video product featuring multi-denominational technology also was introduced during this time. Kind of interesting, huh? Now, that is how come you see all of your Buffalo Links, Dragon Caches, Ho Huff Pum Flood, blah, 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 and blah. Why almost every single machine out there is, guess what? That's right, a multi-denominational machine. Now understand that the pull machines are pretty much non-existent. There's probably like about 4 to 8% of those machines that are pull machines. Now they're also starting to make those denominational, multi-denominational. You can have 1 to 9 lines. Each pay line can go up a certain dollar amount too. So they're all making those all kind of confusing at times, and that's what they're trying to do, is confuse you to bet more money, or to make that oops bet, as I like to call it, where you make that $250 bet instead of making that $22.50 bet because you played all the denominations and all the so on and so forth, which a lot of people don't see. Now, I'm going to get more specific here. I know I'm kind of being roundabout. So, one of the big things with the pull machines, as I like to call it, where you still have the old-fashioned reels on it, is you can have 1 to 9 lines on those. And each line has a denomination or a number of bets that you can do. Plus, the denomination changes. So you can have $1, $2, $5, $10, or $25, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, each line you can bet 1 credit we'll use instead of using an actual dollar amount, 2 credits, 3 credits, 4 credits, 5 credits, 6 credits, so on and so forth, up to 9 or 10. It varies on some machines, but we'll just use 10 for this instance. So that means, let's say it's $1, okay? And there are 9 lines, right? And each line can do a total of 9 credits, right? Or 10 credits. So that is, so 10 times $1 is $10. 10 times 9 lines is $90. That's a $90 bet. So, if people are not paying attention, guess what happens? That's a $90 bet. And if they're really not paying attention, what happens? If they do that times a $5 bet, or a $10 bet, or a $25 bet. Do you see what I'm saying? So you'd be surprised on how much people actually do this. And that's what, not necessarily the casino, but yes, the casino are betting on, in that they're hoping that you kind of do mess up or not think, or you're too drunk. That's why they're always feeding you free drinks in Nevada, Las Vegas especially, because they want you to make that error. And 99% of the time, the casinos will not give you your money back if you make a mistake in your betting. Well, that's your fault. You should have been paying attention. Okay, guys, so make sure you're paying attentions when paying attentions, not just paying attention, but attentions when you're betting. Okay? And if you're not sure, read closely, because I've done it to myself, where I made a $80 bet and went, oh, dang it, didn't mean to do that. That's my own damn fault. I think we've all done it. Okay, so now back to the legalese question. To wrap it up, if you are going to use a multi-denominational machine or play a multi-denominational machine, remember this, folks. It can be any type of multi-denominational machine, from 1 penny up to a $5,000 machine. Okay? The bets can be, let's say, we're going to use the penny because that's the easiest, a 50-cent bet all the way up to a $100 bet, a $150 bet on a penny machine. So just so you guys know that, pay attention. They're not going to give you the actual physical dollar amount. You have to pay attention to what you actually have to use your arithmetic. Yes, I used arithmetic, not math. But you need to count. If you got to get your calculator out that's on your phone, figure it out. Okay? And it's real simple. You take what number you see on there for the bet, times it by the dollar amount. So if it's a nickel, it's 0.05. If it's 10 cents, it's 0.10. If it's 25 cents, it's 0.25. If it is 50 cents, it's 0.50. If it's $1, it's 1.0. $2, 2.0. $5, 5.0. If you guys understand that, that'll help you out in the long run. Hopefully this helps you guys out. And again, let's go back to the Keep It Simple Stupid to help you out. And if you want to learn about slots, I will hopefully within the next year get a book out about slots. If you guys want me to, let me know. Just due to the fact that if I'm going to put a book out, I want to make sure my guests, or excuse me, my listeners want me to put a book out. Okay? All right. Good. Good talk, guys. Good job. Hey, give yourselves a round of applause. Golf clap. Anyway, I'm going to take a little drink here. So, I was doing a little research, and because that really got me thinking in regards to, dang it, I'm pulling it up. Give me a moment. In regards to what was the reasoning behind doing that? And I couldn't find anything. So I kind of started trying to look more and more into it. You can't really find why they went into it and why they were trying to make machines more multi-dimensional. But apparently back in the 90s, way back when, people were getting fed up with just paying one line. And back then they even they had up to 5 lines where you could play. The electronic machines were just kind of starting to come out, starting to get getting their hold, like your Dragon Clashes, your Dragon Caches, your Dragon or Buffalo Link, all that, and so on and so forth. If you guys understand that, the Indian casinos were starting to come in, so the Buffalo was really one of the big games that were coming out, just due to the fact that the Indian casinos were coming out, and they were intense. And a lot of people don't realize that. Now, the electronic machine it was really difficult to find an electronic machine. You'd always see the hand pull ones, and then you started to see the switch over about 2000-ish. You really started to see the switch over due to the fact that the multi-denominational machines were coming out. Okay? And you could get more from a multi-denominational machine due to the fact that they offered more denominations than one denomination. So therefore, guess what? the casinos made more money off of them. And as we know, the casino's about money, not about guests, not about people. They are about making money, and that is the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so. Yes, just kidding. I couldn't resist. I had to say that. But that is the main reason why you have your multi-denominational machines, and why the influx happened about 2000, why the flip-flop, okay, and why the pull machines have slowly but surely went out. Now, about 2-3 years ago, after the C word, you started to see a small little influx of pull machines, but they're electronic, and some of their graphics are actually pretty amazing. You think that they are truly pull machines and not electronic. It's absolutely amazing to see. At least in my opinion, it is. Okay, so as you know, I like to say so, but this kind of brought me to some of the great innovations of slot machines. And I was like, well, what were some of the great innovations? And what's funny is this, and I'm just going to throw out a couple of them at you, okay? And please understand, right now we take a lot of them for granted. But what a lot of people don't realize is at the time when these games came out, they were huge, ginormously influential. And yes, I said that word, and I'm not going to say it again because I will screw it up. But they were ginormously, you know what, when they came out, and they changed the gaming industry tremendously. Okay, so the big one is, and we've actually truly already talked about it. You ready? Wheel of Fortune. And I'm just going to read a little tidbit here on it. Anchoring Game's signature innovation was the incorporation of a roulette wheel on top of a slot machine configured like a carnival fortune wheel. A real symbol would trigger a bonus feature in which the player pressed a button to spin the wheel for a bonus award. It first appeared with a Bally slot called Wheel of Gold. That game was a hit for Bally, and can still be seen in various forms on slot floors today. So as you can see, a little play. Everybody steals from everybody in the gaming industry to do certain games. So they took a game, they saw it at Bally's, they got the rights to the actual NBC game, or whoever owns the rights to Wheel of Fortune. And IGT said, all right, well, we're going to come up with Wheel of Fortune. A lot of these game shows, they don't make a big splash, but Wheel of Fortune did, and was one of the very first, or was the very first multi-denominational machine. So, I know I'm being a little redundant there, but there you go. Now, you guys all know the Megabucks game, right? Where you can win up to blah, 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 tens of millions of dollars and so on and so forth. So, what people don't realize is when this came out, nobody had $1 million jackpot. Nobody had a $500,000 jackpot. Nobody had anything, a multi-progressive or a multi-site jackpot that big. So here we go. I'm going to read a little bit about the Megabucks. In 1986, IGT unveiled one of the history's most important slot innovations, the first multi-site progressive slot machine, with virtual reel systems already making larger jackpot possible. IGT decided to go for ultimately the type of life-changing jackpot formerly reserved for only a few lucky lottery players. The idea was to link machines at different casinos around Nevada to a common jackpot over telephone lines, borrowing nascent modem technology from the telecommunications industry coin in from each slot on the Link network would increment a life-changing $1 million jackpot, and the odds of hitting it would be better than the odds of hitting the lotto jackpot in a state lottery. Borrowing a name from the Eastern U.S. lotteries, IGT called it Megabucks. Yes, folks, Megabucks. The Megabucks multi-site progressive system lives on in many forms from games, still bearing the title to a wealth of other progressives, from Wheel of Fortune to Mega Jackpots games, bearing various licensed entertainment brands. Other manufacturers eventually followed with their own multi-site progressive systems, such as Bally's, Thrillions, Atronics, Arizona Magic, and Aristocrats Cool Millions. So, as you can see, just a couple of games that have changed the gaming industry, the slots. If I can just talk today, that would be really good. But a couple of games out there that have changed the gaming industry, there we go, that have brought more money to players, allegedly. But one thing that you can say is they have raised the dollar amount on the jackpots. Now, if we can just get our wonderful, fantastic leaders to change the dollar amount of what the actual jackpot we have to pay taxes on would be, that'd be even better. So that brings up my final point of the evening or day or wherever part of, what you are in while you're listening to this. It's election year. Some places just had their elections yesterday or the day before, or a few days before, or a month before, or a week before. Just depends on where you are. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday, and it was Super Tuesday, as they like to call it. Anyway, sorry, I like to get a little silly at times. But as we know, the bill is H.R. 3125. Hey, contact your congressman, congresswoman, your senator, your state senators, your state congressmen. Please get in contact with them. Also, send a letter to the Secretary of Treasury. Let them know. Janet Yellen is her name. Don't be afraid to send a letter, because all it is a 2-page document. If you look on my TikTok, you will see that it is on there, and you can reference that. Again, that is the wonderful H.R. 3125. And all it is an amendment to a bill to the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, which will increase the hand pay from $1,200 that you'd pay taxes on up to $5,000, especially with the way inflation's gone. So, folks, thank you for listening. You guys have a great day, and deuces.